This is the Reptile Girl, but the Snake Man's coming.
And it's me, the one-man production studio, everything, and we're going to do a red belly. Here we go. We have the baby one here. What we do is we lift it up. Now, unfortunately, this snake can kill. And we have the cage, the water bowl. He's made a mess. He's done a poo. Could be a girl. We don't know what sex this one is. Anyway, what we do is you wave him out. It's a few months. Whoa! And hey, can you see he's going to try and bite me? Right, here we go. They're good little snakes. They eat well, don't they? There we go. And as you can see, he has latched onto this little mouse at a bad position. Now I'm going to hold the camera there and see if it eats. This snake was born by us from a 3-year-old female and a 3-year-old male. They were actually brother and sister. We imported them from New South Wales when they were hatchlings and, well, newborns themselves. And red-bellied black snakes normally breed in their 4th year in the wild. We actually got 3 of these snakes gravid at 3 years of age from a male. In other words, one male got 3 of his sisters pregnant. They were all accidental matings on the way to reptile shows, and the male actually just simply rooted them in the box. Oh, what's this snake doing? It's not very good. Oh, and he goes flying out the cage. Now, he doesn't actually bite me. He only seems to bite food. Go on, in you get, in. He's got a very bad position on this. Of course, whenever I do a video of a snake eating, it's called Murphy's Law. They get the bad position. He'll probably root ass around with this. I think he's going to go backwards on this one. And it's the largest pink mice. This snake, we force fed it for a while when it was born. In the wild, they generally eat skinks and things in the wild, but we're legally prohibited from using them here in Victoria. So we use rodents. Anyway, this guy here is eating it. You can see it's taken 1 minute and 50 seconds to get this far. And my daughter here is the reptile girl. Say hello.
Hi.
And of course, snake busters are Australia's best reptiles. Anyway, we'll flip across, and the snake is still cruising. He is gobbling away. And of course, I might view these tongs into the picture. We do use snake tongs for the purposes of feeding snakes. They are not there for the purposes of picking up snakes, because that breaks ribs. This snake here was born, I can't remember the exact date, but we'll say around February, March of 2011. It was a pretty standard looking baby, and it is now November of the same year, 1st of November, Melbourne Cup Day. And of course, Melbourne Cup Day is always a celebration for more than one reason. Anyway, the snake is woofing down this food, and as you can see, I'll get a little bit closer so hopefully it won't blur. It does blur, isn't that typical? I think I've got to go macro mode. I'll see if I can do that while I'm video recording. Now we'll just zoom in, and look at that, it's not working. Anyway, cut long story short, you can see the snake is woofing into this pinky mouse. We buy them wholesale from pet shops and rodent suppliers. They actually cost about $1 each, and people say, well, why don't you breed them? Well, when you're working 7 days a week doing live reptile shows, you don't really want to waste your energy breeding rats and mice. So we actually use these for we just buy them. It's a lot easier. Now, this particular individual snake, when we handle it, we do free handle it. It hasn't tried to bite me yet. And if you were bitten by a red-bellied black snake this size, it's a fairly safe bet. It would not kill you, and it would probably just give you a bucket load of local swelling at worst. I've never been envenomated by one of these. Now, as you can see, this snake has pretty much finished off that mouse, and I could actually give it a second one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick across the room. There's my daughter there. Say hello.
Hello.
And she's watching. She's the apprentice. And what we do here is we grab this little rodent here and we wave it in front of the snake, and it will probably bite it. Here we go. It's hard to do 2 to 3 things at once, filming, production, and oh, got it. Now, I'm not going to give you the video of it eating a second mouse, because that gets a bit tedious. So, of course, now this snake has got a very good position, and he's eating it head first. So we actually might just let it roll through, because you'll get an idea how quick they eat them when they're not rooting around. This guy here is eating a pinky mouse. It is smaller. Now, we actually feed these guys rodent arms and legs as well, especially when they're very small, because they're a lot easier to force feed. You can get arms and legs off what we call hopper mice. They're the mice have just developed hair. They're very small, and you can feed them to baby venomous snakes. In Australia, 6-inch long snake can eat them very easily. Usually we force feed them because they generally don't like them, they prefer skinks, but they go down well, they digest, they get a bit of size. It's not as good as whole food, so as soon as they're big enough, we do feed them pinky mice. A bit harder from the point of view of force feeding. And of course, once the snakes start eating voluntary though, it's okay. You can just give them the pinky mice and you're off and running. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the lid on the cage here, just for the express purposes of terminating this part of the video, and we're going to show you what the see, he doesn't like the lid going on, but he's still got the mouse in his mouth. And we're going to flip across to another couple of red bellies in a larger box, and you can see, there we go, we've got the boy on top and the girl on the bottom, and I will just see, you can wave your hand from them, they don't bite. We got a third one here. What we'll do, we'll just take this one out. You can see we free handle them, not interested in biting at all. Red-bellied black snakes are very good. Anyway, that snake's now sitting around my neck, so he's not being in the video. But I'm just going to move them around, and as you can see, they are locked up. That is what we call mating. So we're making more baby red-bellied black snakes for season 2012. These two, brother and sister, they are now 4 years old, and of course we'll get babies, and that's where we're at. You can see they're joined up. I threw them in together a few hours ago, and I'll just lift that up, see how they join there at the tail, and you can actually lift them. You see the just bear with me, I'll move around slightly, and you can actually see how they are connected, you see. Now, we don't necessarily recommend that, but this particular red-bellied black snake is such a good mater. Wouldn't matter what he's doing, what you do to him. If he was to bust up for the purposes of the video, he will no doubt join up again. Anyway, we at Snake Busters do breed all our snakes, and the reason is we can be nice to our snakes, we treat them well. See, oops, what are you doing there? You've got, yeah, see, black snake, wonderful snake, doesn't bite, beautiful, free handle it, all that sort of stuff. Just remember, if it's not Snake Busters, it's always a risk. These snakes, of course, risk-free. We bring these to schools. We're the only safe venomous snake show in Australia, the only company with a perfect record. Not only do we have a perfect safety record, we have the best record in the country for breeding venomous snakes. In fact, we're the only people that bred all the major deadly snakes from Southeast Australia. That is black, brown, tiger, copperhead and death adder. Only Snake Busters have bred all the deadly snakes from this part of the world. We do it regularly. In fact, we sometimes make sure they don't mate because we can't get rid of the babies, especially with tiger snakes. The summer just gone, we bred red-bellied blacks and tigers. Previous summer we bred browns and death adders, and I think we bred tigers, I can't remember, and I think we bred copperheads that year as well. You see they're joined up at the tails there. Now they would normally rate, this particular male usually only mates for about 3 to 9 hours on average at a time, but it certainly does the deed. Most snakes mate for an average of 24 hours. Just remember, if it's not Snake Busters, you are always taking a risk, and we like our reptiles. Bye now.